Not technically Bourne-style opening credits, but notice anything missing from the Universal logo? Like the theme? We get pushed right into this film with ambient sounds from the opening shot. They didn't even know they were creating imagery and music so iconic that it would be paid homage to in Legacy. Can you win a movie for something that hasn't actually happened yet? I'm gonna say yes. That guy's alive. At least this time, Matt Damon didn't have to pull the projectile out himself.
What's your name?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Matt Damon is so good. He's at least 50% of the reason this movie is awesome.
Tu sais qui je suis? Je ne sais pas qui je suis. Tell me wie ich bin. Weet je wie ik ben?
I've read that Damon's accents are pretty good in each of the languages he knows. And Bourne being fluent in 7 languages and only learning that he is through messing around like this is a win. Ugh, this score. It's just so amazing. And overlaying it on top of this dialogue-free What Do I Do Now montage is great. And obviously, a What Do I Do Now montage is the fastest way to finding out you're a Kali martial arts expert. Bourne staring at his fractured reflection of a person he doesn't really know is perfectly on the nose, yet still subtle.
Ich habe sie verloren.
Oh, right. I can speak Swiss German, look. I love that slight misstep when he sees the cops. Doesn't arouse suspicion, but he was obviously startled. Yep. I mean, that's messed up, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Bourne uses whatever is the most efficient and effective tactic in any given situation. As the tension escalates, Bourne actually becomes more composed and calculated as his training takes over. This really isn't a win, but every time I see this scene, literally every time, including this time, even though I know exactly what happens, I fully expect Bourne to be stepping off a ledge and falling to his death because the wire mesh looks transparent at first. It stresses me out every time. Another thing that I love about Bourne is that he isn't perfect. He doesn't always make the right decisions first, much like calling his apartment being a dead end. I guess other than confirming no one was there. I'm not even sure what his plan was here. Go up on the roof? But it doesn't work, so he tries something else. Which actually leads to arguably one of the best sequences and possibly my favorite in the entire film. I can't tell you how many buildings I've tried to scale like this since I saw this film. And obviously failed. Because I'm not Bourne. Oh, but I definitely haven't tried it from this height. Yeah, that's terrifying.
We took over this really cool surf shop outside Biarritz, which was right by the water.
So she doesn't give an exact location, but it's a clue as to where she might go, or at least the type of place, so he can find her later. Even when Boyd Crowder is with the good guys, he's still a bad guy.
I can tell you the license plate numbers of all 6 cars outside. I can tell you that our waitress is left-handed and the guy sitting up at the counter weighs 215 pounds and knows how to handle himself. And at this altitude, I can run flat out for a half mile.
Another scene in the top 5 of this movie is this explanation of his abilities. It's sort of like seeing behind the curtain of the super spy assassin.
With you, you will probably just forget about me.
How could I forget about you? You're the only person I know.
And the seeds of love were planted. We start to see the theme of this movie pushed forward. He's home, memory should be flooding back, but it's still foreign to him, because ultimately he's not the same person that went into the water. One more in the top 5, this fight scene started a whole new trend of fight scenes that were more dangerous and made you feel a little uneasy. He's better than MacGyver, and he doesn't even need a cue. Almost too much awesomeness. Brutal.
Where are your shoes? Get your shoes.
Sure, yeah, sure. He went out the window. Why would someone do that?
Bourne goes back into stoic machine mode, and Marie has just about the best and most realistic response ever.
Marie?
And also very appropriately shuts down like a normal person would. Great contrast with Bourne, who actually excels in stressful situations. A car chase scene to rival all chase scenes. Not since the French Connection. Well, since the Road Warrior. Actually, not since Ronin has anyone done it so well. But still, this chase through the Parisian streets should be on everyone's top 10 car chases. And it stands on its own as exhilarating. Another realism scene. I'd probably sit there in silence for a bit too after this craziness. Free haircut. And Stockholm Syndrome. Pre-fame Clive Owen getting the job done.
So, I'll call you, you give me the layout, and we'll take it from there.
Such an indie shooting the swordsman moment. She would have failed doing it his way, so she improvises and uses the skills she has, just like Bourne would have.
I just had a meeting as Kane, and he knew me as Kane. So I'm definitely Bourne. I'm also just definitely Kane.
This little human moment from our super assassin makes him so relatable.
We don't take care of this. We don't make it to the men's room. Is that clear enough for you?
No, that actually made it super unclear for me. Men's room?
Who? Bloody toast gone missing. Did that happen a lot?
Oh, that and Matt misses breakfast, not a chance.
Get in the basement.
This is just one more tiny example, but everything that happens in Bourne's life is an opportunity to gain information. This one is pretty simple, but throughout the movie, no tiny detail goes unnoticed. Distraction and smoke cover win. Also, watch the snow vibrate off the fence and firewood. You know Damon felt that.
Look at this. Look at whatever you give.
And Clive Owen earns his fame to follow. An honest moment between hitmen.
What are you gonna do?
I'll end it.
Well, why don't you go upstairs and book a conference room? Maybe you can talk him to death.
Burn! Killer with a conscience.
Because I thought we were on the same side.
Whose side is that?
I will bring this fight to your doorstep. I'm on my own side now.
Best line ever. Bourne's better with his pinky than I am with my index. Still the coolest thing Bourne has ever done. Ah, the old Silence of the Lambs fake out. Hair growth is a better way of saying time has passed rather than X months later, which it undoubtedly would considering Bourne's fear for Marie's life. I realize it's a deliberate homage to spy flicks and the trope in general, but I just love how often Bourne disappears and then reappears like a ghost.
You have ID?
Not really.
Haha. Hugging. Moby is most usually a win. I've brought the score up a few times, but I have to give some props to John Powell. This score goes down as one of my favorites of all time, and it shouldn't have surprised me that he's responsible for some of my other favorites, both How to Train Your Dragons in particular. I'll start by saying that I realize no one really needed to defend this movie. Fortunately, I didn't go with my original channel name, In the Defense of Movies, patent pending, since I didn't want to be pigeonholed into the Geelys and Battlefield Earths of the movie world. Although somehow Identity is regarded among some as the weakest of the original trilogy. However you rank them, this movie is amazing. It started a whole new spy genre that is grounded in a bit more reality than Bond and Hunt, had a little more action than Tinker Tailor and Spy Game, and brought Tom Clancy-type fight scenes to life in a whole new unforgiving and consequential way. And on top of all that, they put a human at the center. He's not a superhero or an anti-hero, he's not saving the world, taking down a rival agency, or even saving the girl. He's just a dude trying to remember his name. What's more relatable than that? Isn't it our deepest secret that we hope to be activated someday and find out through no effort on our part, at least that we can remember, we're actually an unstoppable martial arts and weapons expert and general badass genius? No? Just me? The fact that the studio tried to screw this movie up by cutting the farm scene and ordered 4 sets of reshoots and pushed the release a full year is a testament to the quality of the movie we got. The pacing is perfect, the relationship between Marie and Bourne is built very organically, and Bourne is one of the best, if not the best spies ever. Cool, calm, and collected in the face of adversity, yet not so much that he still has some real emotional moments that show his humanity and make him more sympathetic. And ultimately, that's the main theme of this film. Other than badasses are fun to watch CQC with people, so here, watch. But the message is as simple as the cliche, home is where the heart is. The deeper he gets into the past, the more he wants to forget. He learns that Marie is actually the closest he'll ever get to having a real life, and ultimately tries to put everything he learned about himself behind him. It's a great self-discovery film that was done maybe only slightly better by Douglas Quaid. While Damon had already done Good Will Hunting, Rounders, Talented Mr. Ripley, and Courage Under Fire, notable for his extreme weight loss, the Bourne Identity solidified him as an action star with real chops. Franco Potente was a fantastic love interest sidekick, and Brian Cox and Chris Cooper carried the CIA side of the story expertly. However, the most surprising performance to me is still Julia Stiles. She didn't have a whole lot of screen time, but her resume wasn't jam-packed with roles like this prior to this film, and she does a great job of playing the middle. I'm sure Greengrass and Damon will pull out another amazing sequel, Jason Bourne. Adding Tommy Lee Jones and Ava Ex Machina herself, Alicia Vikander, into the mix obviously won't hurt. I wonder if Aaron Cross will make a cameo. I can't say I'd hate a team-up movie with those two. Or give Damon his wish and let him be in a Nolan-directed Daredevil. The Adventures of Hawkeye and Daredevil? I'd watch it. Bourne would watch too. Right, Jason?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Walk around us. Gonna leave any footprints.
You can walk around, it's no problem.